Greetings and welcome through a walkthrough of how the data pack works for Hardcore Museum Season 5. If you're not familiar with the Hardcore Museum Challenge for Minecraft, I would go check out the video on the Kid Awesome 2 YouTube channel. Link is in the description of this video. When you're creating your new world, you're going to simply click on this Data Packs button and this Open Pack Folder button. Now, if you're in Windows, it's probably going to open Microsoft Explorer right to the folder you need to go. If you're on a Mac, it should do something similar. You're just going to paste that zip file in the location, the zip file of the data pack in that location that opens, and then close that window. And it should show up here looking exactly like this. You're going to select it saying, yep, put this in my world, and you're going to click done. That's all you need to do. Your game's in hardcore. If you want to put in a specific seed or change the structures, you can do any of that other stuff, change the game rules for Phantom, but you don't actually need to because the data pack is going to handle a bunch of that for you. So you're going to click Create New World. Now, you should get this message. Welcome to Hardcore Museum Challenge. To begin, craft the museum spawner in a crafting table using any wooden planks in an H pattern. If you do not get that message, that means either the data pack's not installed, not working, or something went wrong. You can, or if you forgot to add the data pack in world creation, you can save and quit. You can go into your file system and find your save file for this world, just like as if you were manipulating the world file in any other way. And you can put the zip file in the data packs folder inside this world after the time of creating the world, and when it reloads, it should reload that data pack. Now, the release version of this data pack is actually going to give you two options that you can craft. The first option is to take your wooden planks and craft in a C, which will give you the Hardcore Museum Curator spawner. That's what I'm going to demonstrate here. The second version, what you can craft, is putting your planks in an H, which will actually give you the Hardcore Museum, which I'll show you next. First, I'm just going to show you what happens when you throw the Curator spawner on the ground. You're going to summon in a Curator who has all of the items that you need to collect in this challenge for scoring, and as you trade them in, he's going to give you your points. Now I'm going to actually demonstrate the Hardcore Museum spawner because it's a little bit more complex. So everything you're about to see will still work with just the Curator. The difference is the Curator just spawns the Curator. The Museum spawns both the Museum and the Curator. But initial feedback was that folks wanted to build their own museum instead of having the pre-spawned one. Anyway, let's see what happens when you do the Museum spawner. But the first thing you need to do is chop some wood. You can chop birch wood, you can chop, in fact, we'll go ahead and chop a mix of wood just to show you. You can chop acacia wood, you can chop dark wood, whatever biome you happen to be in. So you've got your crafting table. You're going to put your wooden planks in an H pattern. Doesn't matter again, but you're going to get this structure block, which is the Hardcore Museum spawner. Drop me to build your museum, and it also says it in the chat. Toss it on the ground. Now, the museum is going to be centered around the, I'll demonstrate with this crafting table. It's going to be centered around the place where you drop the item. So it'll be, the floor of the museum will be at this height here. It will be about 20 blocks in every direction from where you throw it. So make sure you're going to throw it in a place that has plenty of room, or you don't mind wiping out whatever is there. I'd hate if you built your house and then boom, the museum wipes it out. It'll look something like this. Your Hardcore Museum is ready. You can now deliver artifacts to the Curator to display in your museum. So here we go, the museum spawned. This is the HCM Museum, courtesy of TroyBoy777. And inside is the Curator. So when you play the Hardcore Challenge on your own, you gather up the items and you have to, on your own, keep track of how many points you have. The whole point of this is now you can come to this Curator and he has a handy dandy list of which items are museum exhibits, which items are the lucky items for this season, and what is the special bonus block. Alright, now let's say I've gone out into the world and I've done my survival, and I'm ready to turn in some items. So he wants a hay bale. Let's go ahead and give him a hay bale. It is going to, he says, oh, what a lovely hay block. I know just where to display it. 5 points. Now you can see that I've got 5 points on the right, and he has displayed the hay block in the museum in the same exhibit space as in the template world if you downloaded it. And now you can use this as kind of a handy dandy checklist to see what you've already turned in. It becomes crossed out, so you can't give him that item again. And he's displaying these items in the world. Let's go ahead and give him a world stem. So I've given him 3 items, 15 points total. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and give him the axolotl bucket. There's Mr. Bob. Let's say we want to give him the ingredients that he asks for, the iron golem. So now you don't have to create the iron golem yourself. You're going to want to trade it in here. Let's go ahead and do the lucky items, because you won't get any points for 1 lucky item. You won't get any points for 2 lucky items. You won't get any points for 3 lucky items. But when you turn in your 4th, and you see them being put up there, when you turn in your 4th lucky item, we should see the score jump up by 50 points. And there it is. You turned in 4 of the 7. Now you can continue to turn in lucky items, so I could go ahead and turn in a gas tier. I won't receive any more points after the 4th one. And let's just show you what happens when I turn in the crying obsidian. There we go. And so on and so forth until your score, until the total combined score for the world reaches 200 points, when you will have triggered the successful completion of the museum. If you haven't turned in all 7 of the lucky items, you can continue to do that. They will be placed. But once you have gotten a total world of 200 points, the museum is considered complete and the challenge is over. Now, I say that because if I was in multiplayer, I could be getting 145 points, and let's say my really good friend TroyBoy77 was also playing, and he had turned in 55 points. Our combined total would be 200. We would win, but of course you would be able to see who turned in the most in that situation. So the point of this data pack is really to facilitate the point tracking progress, not necessarily to do all kinds of other stuff, but this will let you enforce some of the rules. Now, if you forgot to turn your phantoms off, you can do that here. If you want to be reminded of what these rules are, first rule, no taking items from Minecraft generated chests. Second rule, no trading with villagers, piglins, etc. The data pack takes care of that. Even though this guy is a cartographer, his trades have been disabled. And it also takes care of the chests that are generated in the world. So all of the loot tables for minecart storage in mine shafts, for nether fortresses, all the chests have nothing in them, so you can't possibly cheat that rule. The third rule about spending the night in a building, well, you're going to have to enforce that on your own. Rule number 4 is no sleeping in beds. The data pack will actually take care of this for you. If you try to sleep in a bed, it will pop you right out, so that is good. Here is an explanation of the scoring, and then of course credits. So that's an overview of this mod. I hope you enjoy it. Good luck in the challenge, and let us know how you do in the comments of this video or the official rules video on Kid Awesome 2 channel. Cheers!